Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about the concept of the shape and size of cells. By now we were studying that what is cell, the structural and functional unit of cell. So all organisms which are present on the earth, are they, or in the world on earth, are they of same size shaped cells, or they are made up of different type of cells? If we talk about amoeba, as we discussed earlier, it's single celled organism and has irregular shape, no definite shape is there. But if we talk about a single celled organism like paramecium is a slipper shaped structural organism, is it or not? Same way some more things are there, some more, if you recall, chlamydomonas, okay, euglena, they are all fixed shape organisms. But when we look around us, the diversity of the life that is present around us, if we find, then we will find that if a single cell we are talking about, then they are in various shapes. So let us discuss about the shape and size of the cells. Let us see here, like some diagrams I have drawn here. Can you see? This is a muscle cell. Muscle cell is tapering in on the ends and it is broader in the middle. So it is a muscle cell. Then I have shown here ovum. Ovum is female gamete or female sex cell. Ovum. This is the shape of the ovum. Then comes sperm, male gamete or male sex cell. This is how it is, just like a tadpole, head and tail. These are all single celled structures. Okay. This is fat cell, the fat that is present in our tissue, that is present in our body. We call it adipose tissue. So the cell of adipose tissues, that is adipocytes, it is of this type. Then comes nerve cell. If you recall your 8th class, we had learnt over there what is a structure of nerve cell. And you will be surprised to know, this is the longest cell. Nerve cell is the longest cell in organisms. It can exist up to 1 meter also. Okay. So what is the structure of this? I have shown in a very compact manner. These are the nerve endings. If you recall your 8th class, this is axon and this is the cell body, which is made up of dendrites, nucleus, cytoplasm and all. Okay. So these figures, they show that organisms have different type of cells. Like we are human beings, we have so many types of cells in our body and they vary. So if we talk about them, this is about human body only. Okay. Same way if we talk about, if we discuss about the RBCs. RBCs are again WBCs, they are again what? They are again the shape of single celled cells. Single cells means unicellular, they are in structure, and their shapes, like RBCs, they are disc-like shaped. Disc, you know what is disc that we play with? It is a little bit depressed in the center and it is edges like concave lens. Okay. And if we talk about the WBCs, they are amoeboid cells, like they do not have any fixed shape. So the cells, all cells that are present in our body or maybe in other organisms, they do not have same shape. So this is how you are going to explain. Now, the longest cell, I am going to write some points that you need to note down because they are very important and in one word they can be asked or MCQs. Like smallest cell on earth or in organisms is PPLO. PPLO. It is pleura pneumonia like organisms. PPLO. Pleura pneumonia like organisms, or another name, if it is hard to remember, you can write mycoplasma. We call it mycoplasma. This is the smallest cell. Then second one, largest cell, which is single cell. These we are talking about single cells. Largest cell is egg of ostrich. It is single celled and it is the largest cell. Okay. Then third one is longest cell. That is, right now we discussed neuron or nerve cell, or another name is neuron. Is it okay? So PPLO, pleura pneumonia like organisms. Then mycoplasma is the another name. Egg of ostrich is the largest. Longest is nerve cell. It can be up to 1 meter. And you know, viruses are also very small. Viruses, they are very small organisms, but they do not have membrane around them. That's why we do not keep them in the category of any of these. Otherwise, if they would have membrane, then they could be the smallest cells. But because they lack cell membrane, that's why we do not keep them in the smallest cells. Fine. So this is how we discuss about shape and size of cells. Now we will continue with the next concept. What is the structural organization of cell? What is the structural organization of cell? Cell is basically made of three structures. The functional ones is cell membrane, this is the first thing. Second is nucleus, and third is cytoplasm. This is the structural organization of cell. That is, the cell is made up of following three structures. Cell membrane, also we call it plasma membrane. What do we call it? Plasma membrane. This is the another name. Either we say cell membrane or we say plasma membrane. Another is nucleus. Third one is cytoplasm. If we just talk about nucleus and cytoplasm, then we say it is called protoplasm. Okay. Altogether, this whole of the makes the cell. Now, we are going to discuss each and every one. First, we will discuss about cell membrane or the plasma membrane. Cell membrane or plasma membrane. The structure, what are the functions that we are going to discuss in detail. One by one we will discuss. Then we will discuss about nucleus. Then we will discuss about cytoplasm. So first let us explain and discuss cell membrane or plasma membrane. Okay. Cell membrane or plasma membrane is actually, it is the outermost boundary of the cell. It defines the cell actually. It is the outermost boundary of the cell. It defines, like this room. When do we say that it is a room? When it has a particular 4 walls, then ceiling is there, floor is there, then we say it is a room. Same way, the cell will be called a cell if it has an outermost boundary, means which is going to separate it from the external environment. So, the first thing that we need to remember, that cell membrane defines the cell. It gives a boundary to the cell. Then, it protects from the external environment. From the external environment. What is, like this room is separable from the external environment. We don't know what is happening outside. Same way, the cell, inside the cell, whatever the contents are there, they are away or they are protected from external environment through this boundary of the cell, that is plasma membrane. Then, next is that cell membranes are SPM. Very, very important notation or words. SPM. What do you mean by SPM? It means selectively, the word S stands for selectively, or we say semi. Either we say semi or we say selectively. Permeable. Permeable, what does it mean? Which allows, gives permission. Membrane. Cell membrane or plasma membrane is SPM. SPM means selectively permeable membrane, or we can say semi-permeable membrane. Selectively or semi, the word is giving you some hint that it allows only selective things to go inside the cell or to come out of the cell. Okay, so this is the important nature of the cell membrane. Like we have doors in the room, we will shut the door and allow only the person who wants to come inside or somebody to go outside. Like when you are in a class, everyone cannot come in your class. They have to take permission and then only they can enter. So such type of behavior is shown by selectively permeable nature of the membrane. Then it shows flexibility. It is flexible in nature. The cell membrane or plasma membrane is flexible in nature. Flexible means it is not rigid, it is a little bit flexible. It means that it can change its shape according to the need. Like it shows endocytosis. The word is endocytosis. Endocytosis means that it can take in material like solid material or liquid material, both. Okay, it can show both intake of solid material as well as intake material. Like we eat solid and we drink liquid. Same way, the cell membrane shows this behavior that it can take in solid substance or liquid substance. So for both, we say the word is endocytosis. But if we are particular, if it is taking solid material, then we say phagocytosis. Intake of solid material is called phagocytosis. And if intake of liquid material is there, then we say pinocytosis. What do we call it? Pinocytosis. You just have to concentrate on this word. Like Hindi mein pina, to yahan par pinocytosis. Okay. Intake of liquid substance is called pinocytosis, and intake of solid substance is called phagocytosis, and both of them together are known as endocytosis. Okay, both of them. Phagocytosis plus pinocytosis altogether is called endocytosis. Okay, same way it can expel the things outside. Okay, solid thing can be expelled or liquid can be expelled. So for that we use the word exocytosis. Now the hint is there. Endo means in, under. Exo, exit. The word is giving you hint. Exo or endo. Cytosis. You remember this word? Cytology, study of cell. So if anything is exited out of the cell, then we say exocytosis. If we say that something is taken in, whether solid or liquid, then we say endocytosis. So I hope it will be clear to you. Okay. Then very important property, one of the, that whatever do you know that cells, they take in gases. You have learnt about it, you have read about it in your previous class. Like when we respire, when we breathe in, oxygen and carbon dioxide, they are exchanged from the cells to the outer surroundings. Is it or not? So that exchange of material, it takes place through either diffusion or osmosis. Diffusion is not a new word to you. You have learned in chapter of matter also. Diffusion is what? Diffusion is the movement. I'm writing here diffusion. It is very, very important to learn. Diffusion is movement of substance from higher concentration region to lower concentration region on its own. Okay, this is called diffusion. Like if you burn an incense stick, dhubati, ya agarbatti, if we talk, what will happen? For some time it will be to this area, but later on whole of the room will become fragrant. Why? Because of the diffusion has taken place. Okay, nobody asked that this aroma should go everywhere, but on its own. Here the more concentration was there. If we are burning the lighting the incense stick here, then whole of the room gets fragrant. Why? Because the concentration of that aroma was more here and it was lesser to other areas. So the movement of the particles started taking place like this. So this is called diffusion. Movement of substance from higher concentration region to lower concentration region on its own until it comes to the state of equilibrium. Until it comes to the state of equilibrium means that everywhere it is same. This is called diffusion. What do we call it? Diffusion. Okay. Now what is osmosis? Osmosis is again a special type of diffusion. Osmosis. It is a special case of diffusion. In this, movement of water takes place from higher concentration region to lower concentration region through SPM, that is semi-permeable membrane. Again, let me repeat. Osmosis, movement of water molecules takes place from higher concentration region to lower concentration region through SPM. That is, what is it? That is semi-permeable membrane or selectively permeable membrane. Okay. So, can you correlate both the terms? Diffusion was movement of any particle. It can be solid, it can be gaseous. Okay. But when only, or it can be any liquid also. But if the movement of water is taking place through SPM, from higher concentration region to lower concentration region, we call it osmosis. So I hope it is clear to everyone that what is osmosis, what is diffusion, and what are the functions of plasma membrane. So write down the homework for today. What are the different shape and sizes of the cells that they are found in? Various shapes of cells. Draw them and label them. Draw the various shapes of single cells found around us or in us. Second question is, what are the functions of plasma membrane? What are the functions of plasma membrane? And the third question is that define osmosis and diffusion.